there was a new spirit, and she had just been born, and she was born in a rush. It was crazy. She was flying like an explosion. Didn't know what the hell was going on, had just been born, and born into this absolute chaos and thunder. And it went on for quite a while. And finally, things started to slow down a little bit. And she could look around, she could see all these other spirits that were bewildered just like her. Didn't know what was going on, eyes wide, hanging on for dear life. Eventually, things started to slow right down and actually settle and become quite calm. And she was trying to ask all these other spirits, like, what is going on? What are we doing? What are we here for? What is this? And these other spirits didn't really know. Like, we don't know. That was crazy. We just exploded out of the, and here we are. And finally, as they moved on and continued to travel, they ran across these other spirits that seemed a little older and more experienced. And we're like, do you know what's going on? And they would just say, we don't. We've been around for a little bit, but all we know is embrace the journey, go with the flow. Just, that's all we know. And so that's what she did. And she went everywhere. She went up, she went down, she was in darkness forever. She traveled through these weird little tubes. Things got gnarly and dirty and stinky. She laid dormant for what seemed like an eternity, and then she was flying again, and then she was seeing all these different animals. It was like this insane adventure, and all along the way, she'd be just keep asking, like, what do we do? What do we do? You know the drill. Embrace the journey, go with flow. Embrace the journey, go with flow. Until finally one day, after what seemed an eternity, she ran across a very old spirit and asked them, what is going on? And they said, all I know is that if you continue to do what you're doing, if you continue to honor embracing the journey and going with the flow, one day you're going to get lifted up into the air and you're going to float like you've done before, but this is going to be a little different. And you're going to travel up into the north. And it's going to get colder. And you're going to see this giant white bed that you're going to fall down on in a beautiful, crystalline, feather-like way. And you'll get to sleep for the rest of your life. You'll finally get a break. But you're only going to get there if you keep embracing the journey, going, okay, I got it. Another eternity went past where she was doing it all again. And, tough times, beautiful times, very static, very dynamic, moving very fast, moving very slow, dark, light, all of it. But she never let go of embracing the journey and going with the flow. And one day, she was lifted up into the air like she had before. But this felt a little different, and things started to get cold, and she turned into this beautiful crystalline shape, and she fell ever so slightly down and down and down and landed on this massive white blanket. And the most peaceful she had been in her whole life, she fell asleep. The blanket is the glacier. And the spirit is water spirit. And water goes on this endless adventure, this wild, crazy adventure, and finally gets to rest and sleep and be purified, only to wake up again in a thunderous rage and go on another adventure. That's my last story.